Okay, so this is going to be an insane bleed build in Elden Ring. Sorry I haven't posted for a while. I started a brand new save as a wretch, so it has taken me a while to get all of the required items. But for this build, you are going to want to get the Blood Grossmesser curved sword with seppuku on both of these swords. Now, since they are curved swords, they do have a unique skill set. So it is actually, in my opinion, a lot more fun to use and a lot better than katanas, even though I'm not sure what the exact damage output is, but I do like these moves a lot more, and they do feel like they do more damage faster than katanas. Now, in order to get this sword, you want to go to the south here. From the south of the Church of Pilgrimage, you will see the Tomb Sword Catacombs. Now, basically, running straight forward in there, you will see a gray mist wall where you need to unlock it with a stone sword key, and you just have to farm the skeletons in there to get these swords. It took me about 30 minutes. Now, for the helmet, I'm using the white mask because obviously it is a bleed build, and this slightly raises attack power when there's blood loss in vicinity. That's obviously important. Now next, I was using the Raptor's Black Feathers, which I'm using on most of my builds now just because of the, it strengthens jump attacks, which jump attacks are really easy to get off on most bosses, and they do a good bit of damage, especially if you are dual wielding. So usually it is a good thing to have, and it is especially good for this build. Now, for the Greaves and Gauntlets, I was just using the Bull Goat set because it has the most poise in the game and comes with some really good physical damage negation as well. Now for the Talismans, I was using the Dragon Crest Shield Talisman +2, but this is interchangeable. It is not a required piece in this set, it is just an extra slot. But if you're going to use anything different than this, I would recommend Radagon's Soreseal because it will make you do a lot more damage because these swords do scale off of strength and dex, and it does +5 for both of those. So if you don't want the Dragon Crest Shield Talisman, use Radagon's Soreseal. The next talisman I am using is the Claw Talisman because it enhances jump attacks, which stacks with the Raptor's Black Feathers, so you are getting a lot of extra jump attack damage. And like I said, it is specific for this build, which makes it really good, because when you are dual wielding with these, they have a really nice jump attack that hits 4 times while you're in the air. So you're getting 4 hits with both of these power, like they enhance your jump attacks, both of these with 4 hits midair. It's really good. The next one I'm using is the Rotten Winged Sword Insignia because it greatly raises attack power with successive attacks. Now successive attacks are attacks right after each other, and as you can see, curved swords swing very fast. It's a lot of hits, especially if you are dual wielding. You're getting a lot of hits off. You are going to be doing a lot of damage with this talisman equipped. Now the last talisman I'm using is the Lord of Blood's Exaltation because it increases attack power when there's blood loss in the vicinity. Now obviously it's a bleed build. You're obviously going to get the increase anytime you're fighting anything because you are applying the bleed build, and I'm pretty sure applying your seppuku Ash of War to your weapon does that anyways. Like, it activates that blood loss in vicinity power up. Now for an example of how strong this build is, as you can see, I'm using my seppuku on both weapons first so I get as much damage as possible. To show how good this build is, I fought Rykard on my first try and beat him without using the special weapon, which they give you the weapon because it does so much damage to kill him. As you can see, absolutely shredding his health. I did 5,000 damage on my first jump attack. Whenever that bleed procs, it does about 5,000 to 6,000 damage. It's just an insane amount of damage on bosses and even regular enemies. I kill most regular enemies in about 2 hits. And you may think, Well, he's probably overpowered. He's probably level 200. In this in this video of me killing Rykard, I was only level 109, which is very underleveled. The meta, I believe, is what people call it. The meta level is 150, to the point where you're not too overpowered, but you're still strong enough to make most bosses pretty easy. I was level 109, fighting a boss that you're supposed to use a specific weapon with because it does so much damage to the boss, and I was able to do it without that weapon just because of how strong this build is. Now, after this, I do sit down at the site of grace, so you will be able to see my level. You will also be able to see the stats that I have and where I put my levels to make this build as good as possible. Now, just a heads up, you do want obviously a lot of points in vigor, as most builds call for, but you also want a lot of points in endurance because you are swinging these weapons fast. You want a lot of points into arcane, I would say, is the area you want most of your points in, I believe. Right now I'm about 100. I'm a level 130 as of recording this, and I have 60 points into my arcane. So because that allows blood loss to proc a lot faster on enemies, so it, if you're fighting a boss with a lot of health, it will repeatedly just bleed them, and their health will just drain insanely fast. So as you can see here, I am level 109. I have 50 points into arcane, 35 into vigor, 28 or 25 into endurance, 18 into strength, and 30 into dex. Now, the weapons do scale off of dex and strength, but arcane is the most important, so that you are obviously able to proc your blood effect a lot more. So if you like videos like these, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you do not miss a video in the future. See ya.